What is up, boyos? Welcome to the Loner Cast, Spoiler Cast for all things MCU. Today, we're talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Absolutely.
We saw it. We saw it this.
Like the She-Hulk. I don't like that. Don't do that.
We saw it this weekend on Thursday before the weekend even, and we're here to talk about it. We're here to spoil the shit out of it. If we can remember what happened in this movie,
it is tough. It's hard
because one thing I'm having a problem with is it's a long fucking movie. My co-host Jake Woods joins me. My name is Nick, by the way. I didn't say that before, but we're jumping in right now. How did you like this movie, Jake?
I really liked it. I think it has some flaws, for sure.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. There were moments that I thought were just really fucking good. I also think, like, visually, this movie looks so much better than the first one. And
sounded like Trump there, I just gotta say. Visually,
so much better than the first. We love the blacks, folks.
Oh God! All right, I'm gonna cut you off right there. This movie was like 100% better than the first. To be completely fair, the first movie was good, but this one like blew it out of the water. Yeah. Pun intended. Out of the water. It's all about the water. It's like the new Avatar movie, Water.
Way of the Water.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't give a shit. But yeah, we saw it, and you were saying something about it has some good things, bad things, and
I bet James Cameron watched this and he's like, God damn it! Like, this is my movie. Like, before my movie comes out.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's gonna be exactly the same.
It's got like a
James Cameron
visuals.
Avatar is because they played a fucking trailer for James Cameron's Avatar, and it's pretty much this fucking.
It looks like
it looks like it's the same fucking movie.
Only the Avatar people are good people in the other one. They're like the bad guys in this one.
That's true.
And I gotta say, when the I don't know, they can't call them Atlanteans because copyrights, I guess. But in the comics, they're Atlanteans. That scene where they first show up is scarier than anything that happened in Doctor Strange. That scene is fucking terrifying, and I loved it. That is like one of the best scenes.
Where they're like singing everybody off of the ship.
Yeah, and everyone's jumping off the ship and shit. Dude, that is fucking scary.
Oh, yeah.
They don't really explore that anymore after that, though.
No, like, it gets real dark. Like, everybody on that boat dies.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like, you think people got away on, like, a helicopter, and then, Namor shows up and kills people. And it's like, shit, dog. I gotta say, right off the bat, right, thinking about it.
Yeah, what'd you think of the movie?
The designs of everybody, of every character in this movie, was either I loved it or I absolutely hated it.
I totally agree.
Like, there was no, like, in-between points. It was like, the Black Panther suit looks fucking great.
Yeah,
it looks
cool.
really good. The fucking fish people, they look really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Ironheart,
terrible.
the fucking Wakanda Predator suit looks god awful.
Totally agree.
I don't know who designed everything. If it was one person, if it was two separate people, but man, this has a lot of like, oh, that's cool. Like, even Namor looked pretty good. Like, with his little
I love the way Namor looks.
His little like feather feet or whatever. I was like, those are kind of like, that's kind of stupid, but I dig it. The way they did it, it makes it interesting. Yeah. So it's such a 50-50 for me. This whole movie just kind of goes, whoop, whoop, whoop. Even with the visuals, like some of the visuals, like when they're exploring, I forget what the place, Namor's like city, underwater city.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, this is fucking gorgeous. And then you get a fight scene between like two CG characters, and you're like, ooh, that looks really bad. Like it's apples and oranges, and it's on both spectrums.
I totally agree. Like, and I still think like it still looks better than the first one though, just because like you remember that
Mhm.
fight scene on the train in the first one? Oh my god, it was
Oh,
so bad.
oh
But
yeah.
like, yeah, there are some moments. I mentioned this when we left the theater, but like, there's that one scene where Namor is like jumping into the water. It just looks so bad, dude. It's just like how,
Mm.
and then like right after that, it looks amazing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like this movie needed to be in the cooker for like, just a few more weeks just to get
Or
cleaned up.
they just wouldn't want to spend the money. They're like, you know what? We're just gonna have a couple of scenes that look terrible. The rest of them, it'll be like, you forgot about that. You forgot how bad that little section looked.
Well, you know what it
You
is.
know?
You know what's they use some like practical effects in this movie with like some of the sets you could tell were like actual practical effects, and then it gets
Hmm.
when it gets CG, it's like terrible. It's like why couldn't you like hire a stuntman to jump into the
Right.
and it would have looked better. You could have done
Hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
wish Marvel used practical effects more often because
Yeah.
and like blended it more. That's one thing Star Wars just like really does well is like the mix of practical and CG together works so well. And Marvel
Yes.
is just full in on like just green screen everything.
It just means that their movies are gonna not last as long.
Yeah.
Because we look back at everything green screen, blue screen, CG, whatever, and it's like, ooh, ooch, oochie, oochie, and like you could see the seams between the scenes, and it's like, that looks real bad. So it just goes to show that these movies aren't made to last as long as Star Wars is.
Yeah. But I think like with the hand they were dealt, they were dealt a pretty rough hand with this movie being made in general, with the passing
Yeah.
of Chadwick. And then
Hmm.
on top of that, which a lot of people aren't even talking about this, like this movie was filmed and like being made during the heart of COVID. Like
Yeah.
that's rough, man. That's a tough thing to deal with on so many different fronts. And I think all of that taken into consideration, um, I was thoroughly impressed like with what they did. Because I was going into the movie being one of the people who believes, I love Chadwick as T'Challa.
Hmm.
Um, but I kind of felt like they should have recast him just because I think like it's such an important character for so many different reasons. Um,
Right.
Not just because of his impact on the MCU, but also like his impact just on the world as like being a important black character that we don't see a lot, and then for him to like leave an impact. I don't know. It just kind of like it just sucks. It's just a shitty. It just sucks. Um, but the way they handled it was really well, and like they really threw Letitia Wright like right into the lion's den. Um, as far as like, hey, in the last movie, how you're just sort of like a comedic side character. Well, in this movie, you're like the person.
The character.
You are
Yeah.
like the main character. You're basically a totally different character. Like you act totally
Hmm.
differently, which makes sense. She would act differently after everything she's been through.
Yeah.
And I think she did a really good job with
She did.
what she was given. Um,
Yeah. I really liked her kind of conflict, especially when she takes the synthetic flower or whatever, and she sees Killmonger instead of anybody else in the astral plane. I'm like, oh,
that was such a nice little,
that's really cool. I really like that because
yeah,
it's like,
that was a nice moment. I was not expecting that either.
yeah, that was fun. That was probably a highlight of the movie was seeing Killmonger just be like, "No, you're like me. You just want to see the world burn."
Yeah.
And because everybody's done you wrong and everybody keeps stepping on you. Yeah.
Yeah, when I think everyone's performance too. It wasn't just her. Like literally everyone in this movie
Hmm.
was great, all the way from Letitia Wright to the guy who played Namor. Like
Yeah.
he was really
He
good too.
was really good
He
too.
he did a good job of like making you like him, even
Hmm.
though he's kind of a monster in this movie.
Yeah.
But like you totally understand where he's coming from, sort of.
Sort of.
Uh,
That was another issue that you brought up that I'm like, yeah, that's true. He's just an asshole. like like in the movie, in the moment, it's like, oh yeah, he did the right thing there. But then you think on it and you're like, hold up. No, he didn't. He just fucked everything up for no reason.
yeah, like
Um,
there's this scene where they all lived on an island or whatever. They take some sort of herb and they all turn into fish people and they leave that island and then they're gone.
Mhm.
He says they're gone for like centuries or something.
Right.
Like
Nobody's living on this island.
No one's living on that island.
None of them are living on this island.
He goes back and there's like a plantation there, which is, it's fucked up. I think they were implying like slavery or whatever.
Slavery. Well, yeah, there were slaves in it, and they.
I must have like not been paying attention that closely, but still, they show up there. No one's lived there for a while, and he just like kills them for like living on their land. It's like
I think he kills everybody, the slaves included.
He kills the slaves too.
I can't think like he did. They didn't show him like letting the slaves go. He just says, "I killed everybody."
Yeah,
or something like
the women
that.
and children too.
And then, and it's just like shit, man. And the more you think about that scene, it's like
that wasn't your land anymore.
Yeah,
like you didn't live there for like centuries.
Yeah. What did you expect that land to be there for when you come back to it for your not air breathing people? Like,
like
what?
If I'm living in my house right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm living here. Yep. And then one day I just fucking leave and I never come back. Yep. I wouldn't expect to come back and be like, where's all my shit?
Yeah. Why are you here?
Like,
why are you on my piece of land right now?
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird.
Yeah.
He was still good though. I liked him a lot.
Yeah.
I think the beginning was a little emotionally manipulative, but I liked it.
The whole movie kind of was like that. Like there was a lot of like moment of silence times, and it was like, literally, do we really need this again?
Literally, the movie starts with that.
Yeah,
which was nice. Yeah, it was kind of a nice touch. But it definitely was like, okay, you're making even people who don't know what's going on cry here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like the intro is fine with the Marvel thing.
That's what I mean, though. Like, even if you have no idea who the fuck that is, or like no connection to the MCU, you're crying because it's just like that's sad. Like you know what it is.
Yeah, but I think that was the moment. That was like enough, right? And then throughout the movie, there were times where it was just like, oh. T'Challa's face, Chadwick Boseman's face. And I'm like, do we really need to see this again?
I think it made sense for the characters, though, to like be grieving their brother still.
Right. Yeah, but we get that already.
Yeah.
I already understand.
Especially with like Angela Bassett's character, where it's like, my husband died, my son died, and now I'm queen. I don't want to be queen. This is just how it is. Like, I should be retired right now. I should be taking a break.
And then she fucking dies.
And then she dies. Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, I was half expecting when she first shows up, which she's great in this movie. I really fucking liked her in this movie. She brought the heat. But when she showed up and like they're in that courtroom and she's got her fucking arms out, I'm like, damn, she's fucking buff.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, dude.
Well, I think they did that on purpose because the camera angle was also a low camera angle, and it was like meant to be like imposing the way she was sitting.
I was half thinking to myself, I'm like, they're gonna make her Black Panther.
Oh, that would be sick.
I was half thinking that because I was like, dude, she's so fucking ripped. She looks ready to go, and that's not what happened.
No, we got the skinniest superhero I've ever seen.
She's tiny, dude. That does feel weird. It feels weird a little bit that it's Shuri as Black Panther, just because the way they set it up in the previous movie is like you have to fight without the powers to get the powers.
Right.
And she obviously can't do that. And her thing has always been like, she could fight. We've seen her fight, but she's always had those like blaster guns and like her technology. She's almost like Iron Man. So for her to be Black Panther is a little weird, but we'll see how that plays out in the future. Because at the end of the movie, M'Baku is like, "I want to challenge for king." It's like she's not winning that fight.
No, she's not gonna. Yeah, no way in hell.
She's not winning that. But maybe he just becomes king and she continues to be like the guardian. I don't know.
That would make sense.
Because
who's left in her lineage, right?
Yeah, he'd be a good king. He's already been ruling like that subsect.
Dump sect?
I said subsect, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wow, mountain people, dump sect. Yeah. No, it was a good movie. It was so fucking long though. Like I remember checking the time a couple of times. Like, how long is this movie run for? It's like we've been in here for 2 hours already,
Well, and
and it's not.
that's the thing that's kind of upsetting about this movie too. It didn't need to be that long.
No,
They could have cut
no.
a lot of stuff out. And like it I understand it's hard just because the movie doesn't make sense if you cut these things out, but you could have maybe rewritten some of this stuff. Like all the Riri Williams stuff was I liked her at first when she first showed up. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah,
And then as time went on, it's like, oh, she's just a MacGuffin. She's just
yeah.
literally just a MacGuffin just to
It
keep the plot
really,
rolling.
yeah. She really didn't need to be there.
And it also just sort of felt like, hey, we're setting up the next thing, which sucks.
Hmm.
And then same with Julia Louis Dreyfus showing up. It's just like that felt like an untapped thing that we never really found
Yeah,
out what was going on. I liked her, like that scene where she's like, "Oh, I would love to have that power in the United States to have
yeah.
the metal or
The
whatever."
adamantium.
Is it adamantium or is
No,
it
it's not.
it's
It's not. It's vibranium.
vibranium? Yeah, yeah, whatever. The metals. We could have adamantium now. They could introduce it.
They can do it. Yeah,
Leave it.
I think Wolverine's going to be the first one who introduces
Oh
that
yeah,
to the MCU
for sure,
or
for sure.
X-23 or whoever they're using.
Yeah, but like that just felt unfinished. Like
Yeah,
him getting around, I mean, it even ended on sort of like a cliffhanger sort of thing. And it's like, I don't know, like how many times do I need to see Julia Louis Dreyfus before I find out what the fuck's going on with her? You know?
yeah, yeah.
I've seen her like 12 times now where I'm like, I just don't know. Obviously, we'll find out in Thunderbolts, I think. But like,
Hmm.
it's kind of
I
annoying
think
now.
I I think I liked her in this role. I liked her
I like
kind
her
of
too.
backstory
Don't get
with
me wrong. I
Ross
like her
and whatnot.
too.
I was like, that's okay. We're getting more of it, but I agree. It's like at some point the beans are gonna fall over, and we're gonna learn about it, and it's not gonna be the payoff that we're expecting.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be worth it. I think she just likes doing it, so she's like, "Hey, got a spot for me in this one?" And they're like, "Yeah, I guess you could be in this movie."
I don't think it is. I don't think it's that at all. I just think it's like MCU has to like tease their shit for the next thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah,
I'm
I am
kind of sick
too.
of all of the
Because
teases. It's just like, just show me when you show me.
I
I
think
don't need to know the next thing.
that was what was kind of so strong about this movie. Because if you ignore that shit, this movie does have like a good story going on.
All by itself. It
Yeah,
doesn't need anything else.
right. And
There's
it's like this is
not like a
fine.
whole lot of, yeah.
But then
There's not
this
a whole lot of cameos or anything like that in it.
and the worst parts of this movie are those cameos, like Riri
Hmm.
Williams, who I
Yeah.
like as Ironheart. She'll probably be fine in whatever she's in next.
Yeah.
Um, but and then Julia Louis Dreyfus, which you could have made that interesting, but like there just wasn't enough time given to that, and it was already so
Yeah.
long anyway that like it was kind of unnecessary. I know you had to have Martin Freeman show up at some point, but yeah, it just felt. And then of course we got to talk about that post credit scene.
Oh God, I'm over. Can I say I'm over post credit scenes?
Yeah,
I'm just so over it. Like, just end the movie with that.
yeah,
Instead of like,
no, that's true.
oh, now you gotta wait through this stuff, and then okay, now because I understand the concept of like,
I am
yeah,
more. I will say
show
this.
show support for the people for the scroll, right? And it's like, yeah, that's cool enough. But I've already put 3 hours into this movie watching what all of these people have made. It's not even like the big list of people that's like, this is everybody that it's just the big names that I've already seen: Kevin Feige, producers, directors, and then the
Actors.
people who starred in it. And it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm sitting here.
I
I
do
get
prefer
it. I
it
get
after
it.
a mid credit scene, though. I will say because it's like we could just it
Yeah.
spaces it out and it seems intentional, but I just
Ooh. Ooh, the light of creation has opened your door.
people are creeping in my room.
God, God, God has creeped your open your
Yeah,
door. But yeah, that post credit scene I think was bad.
yeah, stupid.
It was bad.
Made no
And
sense either. No,
no, it did.
fucking sense.
It made sense as a respectable way to have T'Challa continue to be the Black Panther.
Yeah, in the future.
without just a straight recast.
Yeah. Because now it's T'Challa Jr. But in context of this movie, it made no fucking sense. Because
No
like,
sense at all.
so apparently Nakia and T'Challa had a child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense that they would
Right.
have a baby. Okay.
Right.
But why was that not mentioned at all throughout the course
Ever.
of this fucking movie? Where Nakia is a huge part, which I fucking loved her in this movie, by the way. Thought she was
Yeah,
great.
she's really good. Yeah.
I really liked Lupita Nyong'o. I actually personally think she should be Black Panther. But it just made no sense. Like, why wouldn't she bring the child to Wakanda? Why wouldn't she bring him to the funeral? Why would Letitia Wright not know her fucking nephew?
Right.
It's
until
crazy.
he's like 5 years old or something.
Yeah, it's wild. It makes no sense. But also, is this kid 5 because Black Panther got blipped and Letitia Wright did not get blipped, and then he came back and was like just a parent for like a day or two and then died?
And then died. Yeah, I don't know.
Man.
That's the timeline is all over the place. I mean, he was a father long enough for them to, have an understanding of, well, this is your name and this is who you are. And
Yeah, it just felt so forced. You could have introduced that kid at the beginning of the movie and been like, yeah, we got a kid.
Especially after she had literally done it before. It's like the Hulk comes back. This is my kid. Then here's my kid.
Hold on. You've gone full robot, man.
No way.
Full robot.
That's just how it goes.
There you go. You're back now.
Am I back?
Yeah.
For how long?
We'll see.
For how long?
I get what you're saying though. You're talking about Hulk and Hulk's baby and stuff.
It was just terrible timing for this to be like, hey, here's my kid, when the Hulk literally goes, hey, here's my kid.
Yeah. Well, and it's getting a little ridiculous now too, because it's also like we're about to see the Hulk's kid, and then we're gonna see Ant-Man's kid in the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
it's becoming poor writing, but it really is.
It
It's
is.
like, okay, so the next generation of Avengers are the kids.
Yeah, it's just like now the Avengers is all just nepotism, I guess.
Yeah. Avenger babies.
Yeah.
So
I would like to. I mean, at least we've got like, new Hawkeye who is like not nepotism. At least, I mean, she's nepotism in a different way because she's rich as fuck. But like,
yeah.
And then we've got Riri Williams now, and I imagine we'll see Iron Lad as well, who is the kid from Iron Man 3 or whatever.
Right.
Sure, he'll show up. I'm sure him and Riri Williams will have like a moment together at some point.
And the mom of Pepper Potts.
Yeah, Pepper. Yeah, I wonder if we'll ever
or
see
the
her again.
Or the kid again. The other kid.
Man, I don't need that. I don't need her to, because it's like we already have Iron Lad and Riri Williams. Like we don't.
Dude, you don't think, if you don't think for a second they're not going to capitalize on some child kid iron people,
Just
the
like
Iron Lads or something, Iron Family, then you're sorely mistaken.
Hey, that could be what that Armored Wars is all about. The one with Don Cheadle.
It could be.
That might be where we see Riri Williams again, actually, come to think of it. That would kind of make sense, where maybe Don Cheadle's like, I need to repair this suit and I don't have a way to do it because I'm not Tony Stark. And then
Tony's not here and she comes in. Yeah.
That would actually be kind of neat. That's a neat way to introduce her to the Marvel stuff.
I hope she gets a better suit though.
She will, because I think she'll make her own suit and it'll look more like the traditional thing.
Because Ironheart looks really cool in the comics and not so much in this
she's
one.
like skinny Iron Man, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you wanna get to brass tacks and rank this some bitch?
Oh yeah, let me see if I can find this thing. Hold on.
Oh man,
I did not prepare.
Oh my god, it's called MCU Things Ranking.
I got it. Let's see if I can get it up.
I see you.
React.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Try to get it up.
I can get it up. Hold on. I can get it up. All right. Should I read this whole thing or no?
No.
Okay.
No, please, God, no.
We'll read like around it.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So we've got the Lonercast MCU rankings in no particular order other than our combined efforts to compromise with one each other on where we believe the MCU
And we
movies
both
and
disagree with
shows.
this list, but that's okay.
And this list has gone too far.
It's a mind melt.
It's too long, and now we have to decide of where we're going with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever between 1 and 37. I have a location for it.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
The place I was thinking for it would be number 16. Be right after Spider-Man: Homecoming and right before Captain America: The First Avenger.
I can't argue with that. That's a great spot for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what sucks? If it fixed a few things, like, and just made some of the stuff a little more compelling, like, not compelling, if they shortened the time and they took out some of the filler shit and like the stuff we were just talking about, this could have been up there with like Shang-Chi. Like, this could have been.
Yes.
But unfortunately, just like with all that shit in it, it just isn't. So
it's so long. It's so fucking long. That's one of the biggest issues with it.
It's a great movie, and I do think 16 here. I'll read down to 16 because I feel like everything above this are all great movies. Yes. So at number 1 is Avengers Endgame. 2 is Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. 3 is Loki. 4 is Iron Man. 5 is Avengers Infinity War. 6 is Spider-Man No Way Home. 7 is Thor Ragnarok. 8 is Guardians of the Galaxy. 9 is WandaVision. 10 Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 11 Eternals. 12 Captain America Civil War. 13 Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Spider-Man Far From Home. 15 is Spider-Man Homecoming. And now 16 is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Like, those are all great movies above that. And then the one right after that is the first Avenger, which is I feel like when things start to not get bad, but it's just like, okay, these are just kind of good.
It's like B tier. Yeah. You know, you have A tier, B tier, and then as you go down.
I still think we should get together and do the rank them in A tier, B tier, and then within the A tier, B tier, we can rank them within that. And then
that's a whole nother thing.
Well, that's a video, but then in the future when we do these things, we could just be like, what is this, A, B, C, or D? And then we're like, A, okay, here's our list of A movies, and then you know what I mean?
It might come down to that.
I think it'd be great. We'll have to do one episode, and that's also free content.
Look, dude, we only have one more. How about after this next one? Because I think a page on Google is only going to let me do 38.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and then it goes to the next page.
Yeah, because we'll have to figure out the formatting for that too.
Yeah. So, how about after the next one,
which is February, I think. So
we'll start to do that. We'll put this into a different format. That way, we can read it without boring or annoying anybody,
including
going
ourselves.
on for half an hour just listing shit.
Yeah.
But we'll figure this out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let us know if you agree with our placement. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
If you want to see our whole list, go to Letterboxd. Lonercast on Letterboxd.
Yeah. And we might post it on social media. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out our own other Lonercast shows, such as Last Week in Games, where we stream on Twitch and YouTube. Dual stream at 3:30 p.m. every Monday, Arizona time, and and then this show right after that. If we finish if there is something to talk about,
we got to get back to Star Wars eventually. But we're getting to the holidays now, so it's kind of
it's up in the air, man. It's up in the air.
We'll do Andor though in December, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Andor is going to be the last of it until the new year, and then we're getting right back into Mando and.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get to the, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, that one's going to be interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching once again. Talk to y'all later.